Together, we can protect them. Please stay at home for us.
Morning, Namibia. Morning, grade 4s and 5s. My name is Teacher Kennedy. Welcome to my Zone Online School. With me here is Chanel. Before we get into our lesson, let's start by sanitizing. Chanel, let's sanitize. Let's rub outside and in between fingers. All right, today's lesson is on plurals. Okay, boys and girls, let's turn our booklets to page 3, where we are talking about plurals and plural rules. But before we get in deeper into our lesson, let's talk about the competencies. At the end of the lesson, learners should be able to identify and use different types of nouns in plural forms. Yes, by the end of this lesson, I hope everyone will be able to identify, whenever you are reading, be able to identify nouns and be able to change them or use them in their plural forms, various plural forms. Remember last time we talked about 6 rules that are to be followed when we are changing nouns to their plural forms. And we said plural, we are talking about many things. When we are talking about singular, we are talking about only one. The rule number 1 that we talked about is that most of the nouns, they simply add an S when we are talking about them in many, as there are many, or in their plural form. Number 2, if the word ends in CH, SH, SS or double S, S or X, we add an ES when we are pluralizing. Number 3, if the word ends with a vowel and a Y, we add an S. If the word ends in an O, we add ES. Some words ending in an O, we add S in their plural form. There are also other nouns that end with double O, we simply add an S. Let's turn our books to page 4. That's where we are having today's lesson. There we are having 3 new rules for pluralizing nouns. We'll continue from where we left. Rule number 7. What does it say? If a word ends in a Y, we take away the Y and add IES. In other words, I can throw away the Y, forget about the Y, and replace the Y with IES. For example, country. Country is a noun, and it's ending with a Y. When there are more than one countries, I remove the Y. I replace the Y with IES to become countries. Story. Stories. That's rule number 7. Throw away the Y. Replace with IES. Let's go to rule number 8. If a word ends in F, we take away the F and add VES. Take away, the way you take away the Y. If the word is ended with an F, remove. Throw away the F, but replace it with the VES. Let's look at the examples. Example number 1 is a wolf. It's ending with F. When there are many wolves, we have replaced the F. F is no longer there. We replaced it with VES. Calf, calves. Remember this. There are also irregular plurals that do not follow the rules. Some nouns do not follow these rules, these 9 rules. For example, tooth, it changes completely to teeth. Man with MAN will change completely to MEN, men. Foot, feet. Child, children. Guys, let's remember these rules are very important. Remember, our basic competence is to be able to change nouns and follow the rules, turn them into their plural forms. Let's turn our books to page 5, where we have our activities. Let's start with activity number 1. Fill in the plural form of each of these nouns by following one of the first 6 rules. You can see that there are different nouns ending with different letters there, meaning to say you need to consider the first 6 rules that we talked about. For example, number 1, we are given an example there. An apple, 1 apple, many apples. We added an S there. House, houses. Then we will do the rest. We've got fish, man, family, hand, bus, tooth, dictionary, monkey. If you have forgotten, you have to refer to the first 6 rules. B, write the following sentences into plural. Remember one thing, is. But many things, one thing, you say is. Many things, we say are. For example, I draw a picture on a paper. We drew pictures on. So the word that we have changed to its plural form is paper, to papers. In S. Number one is saying, there is a child in front of the tree. How are you going to change that sentence and write the nouns into their plural forms? The noun that we are having there is a tree and child. If I were you, I was going to say, there are children in front of the trees. So you do the rest. Number 2 is saying, I am your best friend. How do you pluralize that one? There is a pen under the book. The first thing is to identify the nouns and be able to change them into their plural forms. Let's continue to page 6. Activity number 2. Activity number 2. Write the plural form of each word under the pictures. Draw a picture of each plural word on the correct carpet so that it matches the correct rule. We are given pictures there, but your task is to write in the plural form. The first picture is, what is that thing that is being shown on the first picture? It's a mouse. Very correct. When there are many, it's mice. Number 2, I'm seeing a sheep. So it's your task, your assignment, to write the plurals of the pictures shown on page 6, activity 2. You have to continue with the pictures that are shown there and follow the instructions. Let's continue. Activity number 3 on page 7. Activity number 3 on page 7. Search for the hidden words and color them in. You are given some guidelines there. The words are below. Girls, heads, stars, buses, boys, moose, mice, babies. You have to look for these words. They are there. For example, in the first column, I am seeing the word boys, the noun boys. I can color that one. So do the same until you finish all the nouns given below. Page 8, activity number 4, words ending in Y, take away the Y and add IES. It's a matter of repetition. The Y rule, where you throw away the Y, replace with IES. Words ending in F or FE, take away the F or FE and replace or add VES. Remember that not all words ending in F get VES. There are some who are or who do not follow the rules. Fill in the plural form of each of these pictures by adding the correct rule form of plurals. We have got a baby there, and we are being shown the pictures of 2 babies. So in other words, baby becomes babies. We are following the Y rule, where we are throwing the Y and replace with IES. We are having the thief there, and there are now many. How do you pluralize it? The F or FE rule, where you are throwing the F or FE and replace with the VES. Thank you so very much. I want to believe that we are all following, because I know you are good boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, let's turn our books to page 5, where we are having an interesting comprehension passage. And this comprehension passage is full with nouns. Page number 9. There are nouns that are in singular form and some are in plural form. We will be able to identify them. Okay, I'm going to read in your hearing the passage. The topic is robbing the butchery. Mr. Maber was the best butcher in town. He had tasty loaves of ham and strings of sausages. His best-selling item was the oryx steaks. He cut the steaks in thick slices with his sharp knives. People paid lots of money to get the best meat. One evening, after Mr. Mayber had locked his store, two thieves broke in and stole all the money he made that day. People were upset and helped the police to look for the thieves. They found them hiding on someone's roof. They were going to use the money to buy nappies for their babies. The butcher agreed to let them clean his shop for a whole month as punishment. He would provide their babies with nappies, but they would not get paid until they had paid off their debts. The thieves believe there is no better man than Mr. Mayber, who helped them in hard times. Today, they own their factories and sell scarves with butterflies and the ponies on them. They are also helping the poor to keep warm in winter. They do not steal anymore. That's our story. Is that not interesting? And below our passage, remember what I told you. Read for the first time. Go to the questions and read for the second time. There you will be knowing what you are looking for from the passage. Underline all nouns ending in Y. In the plural form, they end in the IES. In the passage, and write them down there. There are many nouns there ending in Y. And there's also many nouns there that are already pluralized by adding IES. Number 2 is saying, underline all the nouns ending in F. In the plural, they end in VES. Number 3, who was the owner of the butchery? What is sold at a butchery? Which meat was his best seller? What bad thing happened one evening? Where did the people find the thieves? Who uses nappies? What was the thieves' punishment? What do the thieves do now? As I'm asking these questions, the answers are clicking into my head because I've read the passage. So, thank you so very much, boys and girls. It has been a wonderful lesson. We have learned all the rules when it comes to pluralizing nouns. And I want to believe you are now able to identify nouns. You are now able to use nouns in their plural forms, and you are also able to use the rules accordingly. Thank you so very much. We have to meet in the next lessons. But before we go, Chanel, the rule says we should what? Sanitize. Let's sanitize, because we've been touching books, tables, yes, and the chalks. So we need to sanitize. And let's not forget to keep the social distance. At least 1.5 meters apart. Bye-bye for now.
Hi everyone, my name is Shashi, I'm back. And you can always stay active throughout the lockdown. You can play with your friends, but keep your distance. Like me and my friend, yay! And you can also jog and sing to be active. Until next time, bye!
akili, akili, akili. Water, water, wash your hands. Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe. Wash your hands before you eat your breakfast. Wash your hands before you eat your lunch. Wash your hands before you eat your dinner. Wash your hands before you start to munch. Water, water, wash your hands. Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe. Wash your hands after using the toilet. Wash your hands after you sneeze or cough. Wash your hands after you touch animals. Wash your hands to wash all the germs off. Water, water, wash your hands. Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe. Wash your hands before you eat your breakfast, before you eat your lunch, before you eat your dinner, before you start to munch, after using the toilet, after you sneeze or cough, after you touch animals, to wash all the germs off. Wash your hands! Water, water, wash your hands. Scrub with soap, wash your hands. Front and back, wash your hands. To be clean and safe.
Hi beautiful people, this is Nikita Winkler and I am here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take enough time in each position that your body requires to release its tension. So let's get started. In this session, we will be stretching the ankles and feet. So first I'm going to spread my toes and make sure that my feet are grounded and aligned with my knees and my hips. And what you can also do here is lift one toe and then the other ones. This is really good exercise to strengthen the muscles in your feet. From here, we're going to press forward to open up the ball of the foot. And we make sure while we're doing this that the ankle doesn't sickle. By pressing towards the big toe to align the foot, the ankle with the knee and the hips. Next, we're going to go into ankle rotations. We're going to do both ways. You can do this on the floor, and for more freedom, you can take it off the floor. You can also do all of these stretches sitting for more comfort. And then we're going to tuck the toes to stretch the front of the ankle. So in this stretch, give pressure to the front of the ankle. You'll feel the stretch in the toes and in the ankle. And you don't have to keep it for too long. Also make sure that the ankle doesn't sickle in this stretch, but that you're pressing towards the inside. Right, now we're going to go into foot massages. First, I'm going to massage in between the bones of the toes to open up the foot. And then I'm going to use my thumb to dig into the arch of the foot, giving it circular motions or whatever feels good. And then I can go to the heel, again using enough pressure and using the thumb. Right. If you position yourself comfortably for your foot massages, you can take as long as it feels good. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to breathe and happy stretching.
Hello and welcome to Life Clinic, your weekly dose of health and wellness from the BBC.
However, there is a school of thought that feels that organic food is too overpriced, yet they seem easier to grow and rare. But what do experts make of this?
You are paying for quality, you are paying for safety, you are paying for your health, because the other alternative is consuming conventional foods that contain contaminants.
For those who choose to shave, let's say using clippers or a razor, use those that are specifically made for the genital area. So they're very different from the ones for the face or for the rest of the body, because in terms of shape and the angle, it sort of helps it so that you don't cut yourself in the process.
Should I be concerned about getting a prostate check?
We as healthcare providers are first and foremost concerned about the prostate because it's one of the contributors of a silent disease. Silent disease meaning prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is one of the main killers, not only locally, but globally. So
everybody experiences anxiety. You have a job interview, you have a presentation you're going to make, so everybody goes through some kind of anxiety. What differentiates this normal day-to-day anxiety to now this is a disorder is that you experience these symptoms for a long time.
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalized for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oximeter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause